For instance, a smart MP soon learns one of the favorite tricks of the soldier gone AWOL is to hide behind civilian clothes, like this fellow. However, you can never tell until you've checked his papers. And since you don't have the authority to question any civilian, whether you suspect him or not, get the nearest civilian policeman and have him take over for you. Another example of cooperation between the MPs and the police force. Let him ask the suspect to identify himself. If there is evidence the man is a soldier, you place him under arrest. As a rule, men you pick up will be smart enough to play along and submit quietly. But once in a while, you'll run into one who won't. The kind who will try to make a break and get away. Then go after him. If he turns out to be a tough guy, it might take force to make him behave, but use it within reason. Bring him into line with some of that judo you learned in training. Use your club only as a last resort. And be sure you stand clear enough so he can't get at your gun. A desperate man might try anything to get away. And don't punish him, no matter how he acts or what he does. All you do is make the arrest and deliver him into custody. Once he's completely under control, a search must be made. He probably has no concealed weapons or he'll have used them, but you can't take any chances, so be thorough. Run your hands over his entire body and remove any weapons or any evidence he could destroy. While doing all this, make sure you're in your proper positions, one man on either side of the prisoner. Never stand in front of him, where he'll have a chance to get at you with his knee or foot. And remember, when it comes time to fill out the arrest card or form, only one man does the questioning. On the arrest card, put down the man's name, serial number, organization, his offense, time of arrest, names and addresses of any witnesses, and list any evidence secured. You can usually find a phone to get transportation for your prisoner. If not, the civil police will cooperate. For example, you can use the police radio to contact headquarters. This is one more reason why it's important that MP headquarters be located as close as possible to the regular police. This done, you turn over the arrest form and any other information you have to the man in charge of the pickup, and your part in the arrest is finished for the time being. No matter the type of vehicle you're using, always place the prisoner in a position where you have the advantage. If you have to sit on the same seat, then be sure he's on the side away from your gun. Just a precaution and a good one to avoid trouble. Later, you may be called on to make an official statement or act as witness if the prisoner is tried. That's when you'll find out how important it was to have kept a concise, accurate account of the arrest in your notebook. On arrival at headquarters, the prisoner is immediately prepared for processing. Processing a prisoner is merely checking more thoroughly the job done at the scene of arrest and completing the records for the file. The first thing you do is get him booked, which means listing him on the blotter or permanent records. Once again, recording his name, serial number, offense, and other information. His status when picked up, whether he's on pass, furlough, or AWOL. In this case, a notation would also be made that when the prisoner was arrested, he was wearing civilian clothes. Never book a man as a deserter, because he is not one until proven such by a military court. After he's been booked, further search is made, this time with minute care. This fellow got pretty violent, so don't take any chances. Get him spread eagle so he'll be off balance. This way, he's in such an awkward position he can't possibly start anything. And don't miss a trick when you're searching him. Remove all personal effects which might have been overlooked, and any further evidence you might find. The evidence is labeled and preserved for later use. And the prisoner is given a receipt for his personal belongings, which are marked with his name and locked in a safe. He is held pending further instruction from the provost marshal, or, as in this case, the desk sergeant has notified the man's organization and made arrangements for necessary guards to return him. At this time, his personal belongings are returned to him after he's presented his receipt. The evidence, however, is a different matter. This is held until called for by his organization or the court which will try his case. What you have just seen is only a part of the job you'll have to do, the lessons you'll have to learn. Experience is the greatest teacher in town patrolling. No matter how much you know, situations and conditions will come up which will be new and different. Situations which will require you to think for yourself, use initiative, resourcefulness, and sound judgment, and teach you to act and act quickly in any emergency. It all takes time, but there's nothing hard about it. And you'll do all right if you remember one thing. A little common horse sense will accomplish more in the long run than the biggest club ever made. In short, don't be a bully. It's too easy to be a good MP. Above all else, remember this. As a military policeman, you have no right at any time to judge a man or give him punishment. You walk that beat of yours for one purpose, and one purpose only: to keep your fellow members of the armed forces safe and fit for the jobs for which they were intended. That means simply making sure they get back to their posts where they belong, in good health and sound physical condition, for the training and instruction they must have so that this war can be ended quickly, victoriously, and with the least cost in human lives.